What's going on, guys? Ben from JK Gear and Gadgets, and in this video we are going to be talking about fuel mileage on the Jeep Wrangler. Not necessarily just the JK models, pretty much any of them. I know there's already a ton of videos on YouTube about this, but most of those videos are like, hey, put these 5 mods on and you'll be getting better gas mileage. Sadly, most of those videos, not really true. We drive some of the most inefficient and unaerodynamic vehicles that the US makes. Short than, some heavy duty truck. These things suck on gas mileage, especially once you add bigger tires, lift kit, and a bunch of heavy aftermarket stuff. So we're gonna talk about a few tips and tricks to help bring that gas mileage up. And for those of you that are new to owning Jeeps, some tips and tricks to avoid getting horrible gas mileage. So let's dive right on in. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try not to bore you, but we have to talk about it. The engine. The best thing you can do here is just make sure it's maintained. Spark plugs, spark plug wires, a clean air filter, all those 9 yards. Another thing I would definitely suggest doing is seafoaming it, whether it's in the gas tank or through a vacuum hose up here. I'll probably do a video on how to seafoam these your Jeeps. It's extremely easy, and it really does clean out a lot of carbon intake carbon deposits and a bunch of gunk. It really makes your Jeep run smoother. But besides all that, what else can you do to your engine? A lot of people talk about new intake systems, exhaust systems. That's really not going to help you out too much. I noticed maybe, half of a mile per gallon, which isn't a lot, but it definitely did help a little bit. It helped the engine breathe a little bit easier, both intake and exhaust. So that helps a little bit. Another thing I'd mention, not really in, regards to the engine, but it's more fuel, would be the iDrive throttle controller. So if you're not familiar with what that is, I'll post a video or a link to the video I did a long time ago about my throttle controller that's in there. What it is, it has a few settings. Has a fun mode called Ultimate, there's an automatic mode, and there's an economy mode. Sadly for me, the economy mode on 40s doesn't really work too well. I need every ounce of power. But if you have a newer Jeep, I'd say probably, one with the 3.6 liter and you're on 35s or 37s and you're already re-geared, then that economy mode on the iDrive will help you. Sure, your engine might seem a little less powerful, but it is gonna help you a lot with your fuel economy on long trips or just when you're on the highway. James from Jeep and Adventurer, I know he's gonna do a video later, probably in, who knows, but he plans on doing a video talking about his iDrive and his setup and how it helped his fuel economy. I know for a lot of people it really does help, but for me, sadly on 40s, I need every ounce of power, and when I put it on the economy mode, it really doesn't work that well. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is a little bit different than what everybody's probably heard before, is hood latches. So the JK is horrible and notorious with hood flutter with the stock latches, and that's because the stock latches are rubber and it really allows this hood to flutter. Now it might not seem like a big deal, but anytime you're getting a hood flutter, it means air is going inside your hood and not really finding a way out, which is not helping at all with your aerodynamics. The Jeep is already horribly designed, aerodynamically. It's pretty much a brick. But what good hood flutters will do, what good hood latches will do will prevent any hood flutter. I went with the JL ones. Right here is actually steel, and it really clamps the hood down. There's a lot of different options for these. There's the Drake hood latches, there's a bunch on Amazon, but I really like the look of these, the JL hood latches. But they completely eliminated hood flutter, and it's not, all these things, guys, are gonna be little tiny tips on how to help you get better economy. But I'm a firm believer that a good set of hood latches, they're really gonna help you out in the long run. Now, one thing I wanna mention before we go further in depth with some other things that'll help you is I recently downloaded an app called Get Upside. I'll put a link in the description so you can go check it out, but it's an app that, it's completely free. You go to a gas station, you click that gas station if it's available, fill up your tank, print out the receipt, upload the receipt, and you can get anywhere from like 5 cents back to 15 cents back. I've been using it for a couple months now and I already have like 30 bucks saved up, and you can cash out with PayPal or anything else, but that's definitely a way to get a little more money back at the pump. I'll put the link to that in the description so you guys can check it out, completely free. And while, you know, it's not gonna help you with your gas mileage, it's gonna help you get some of that cash back without using a credit card or anything else. You know, the credit card points where you get, you know, 10 cents back per gallon using your BP card, because we all know how that, you know, quickly adds up. Next thing you know, you're ordering Dana 60s on your credit card, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't save any money. But I definitely think that's a neat way to get a little more money in your pocket back at the pump. But let's talk about tires and wheels. So if you have a Jeep, everybody wants to put on bigger tires and better wheels. And you probably already know this, so I'm not gonna go too far in depth, but when you increase your tire size, you're increasing weight and, you know, a lot more rolling resistance. So a few things to look at when you're upgrading your tire size, definitely a few things. Wheel and tire weight, that combo. Adding 20 pounds to your tires, you know, an increased weight is a lot different than adding 20 pounds in the back seat of your Jeep. Rolling resistance and unsprung weight is completely different, you know, than just adding weight to your Jeep. So, you know, 20 pounds on the tires can mean a huge drop in fuel economy. There's a few ways to make up for that. Regearing is probably gonna be the best and most honest way to bring back your fuel economy. I'm not gonna go too far in depth, but what regearing is it's actually changing your axle gear ratios. It's not something I'd recommend you try at home. It's something you're gonna have to fork off the cash to pay a shop to do. It's probably the most expensive thing you can do because it's gonna be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 depending on what shop you go to and where you live. But it's gonna increase your, you know, drivability on the street, off-road, and it's just gonna be a lot better. And I mean, I don't know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about regearing to you guys. There's tons of info online. I'm running 513 gears on my 40s. 538s would be preferable, but the higher the number, the actual lower the gear ratio is. So when you go with a bigger tire, you wanna go with a lower gear ratio. Cool. I'll try to do a live video talking about that on a later date. But since we're talking about wheels and tires, a big thing to note on wheels is try to go with a lower weighted wheel. So my bead locks are extremely heavy, and that's probably where some of my, you know, bad fuel economy comes into play. Granted, I'm getting about 15 to 16, which is not bad on 40s. But if I swapped out these beadlock wheels to a standard, you know, alloy wheel, I'd probably see a difference of 2 miles a gallon. But for me, the off-road performance is definitely, you know, worth it. But if you're you know, looking for a wheel upgrade, not sure if you want to go beadlocks or, you know, like a lower weight wheel, look at your options. If it's a daily driver and you don't see the dirt that much, then saving the weight of your wheel and tire setup and getting some better miles per gallon might be beneficial to you. Let's talk about some other things. Loading your Jeep up with crap. So many people have way too much excess stuff inside their Jeep. They're loading it down. Every pound you're putting in this Jeep is hurting your fuel economy. Whether it's, you know, gear storage, tools, you know, cool overland fridges. This is not an overland fridge. This is an actual mini fridge I need to take out of the Jeep. But a big thing that's hurting your gas mileage or fuel economy is weight on the Jeep. A few things I did to alleviate that. I deleted my spare tire. You got to think having a spare tire on the back, whether it's 100 pounds, 120 pounds, plus your tire carrier, is a lot of weight. And I know not everybody wants to get rid of their tire carrier because, like Ben, now I don't have a spare. But if you're just gonna daily drive it, take the spare off at least. You know, in my case, my insurance covers, you know, free towing within 50 miles. So if I'm driving this to work and I get a flat, no big deal. I'll just have it towed home, put the spare on there. That's something to think about for you guys. You know, that might want to save a little bit on your fuel economy without, you know, doing crazy mods. Cut down a little bit on the weight. I went with MCE plastic flares. That's an option. You know, give it a cool look, but also cut down on adding, you know, 100 pounds of steel fender flares. Sure, stuff like front bumpers, rock rails, and rear bumpers, all that stuff, you know, you could go aluminum, but I mean, there's no plastic options available for, you know, heavy duty bumpers and stuff. So overall, keep in mind your actual weight of your Jeep. Every pound you add is gonna make it worse. You know, a lot of people have the rooftop tents and all this stuff. I know that it's cool to start adding stuff to your Jeep, but just don't overdo it. Nobody wants a, you know, 6,000 pound Jeep because that's just gonna make it so much worse. One thing I will like to say is that if you are going, on long trips, you like camping, sometimes it's, better off getting a small little utility trailer and towing a bunch of stuff with that, opposed to having it all loaded down in your Jeep. So if you're a person that likes to go off-roading and have big camping trips, where you have coolers and, a bunch of camping gear, get a little utility trailer, and that'll probably help with your fuel economy on the trips, opposed to loading your Jeep down with, 400 pounds of gear. Next thing we're talking about real quick, aerodynamics. I know I already said it, the Jeep is already horrible in aerodynamics, and you guys know that. But once you start making it worse with a big bumper, a winch, that's probably the only two things that I really have that are hurting my aerodynamics too bad. But let's talk about a few other things that definitely hurt your aerodynamics. Big high lift on the hood there, that's not helping you. Big old light bar on top, that's definitely not helping you. Anything that's gonna prevent the airflow from going up is really gonna hurt you on the highway. Big tires that stick out past the fenders, those aren't helping. And some really wide fender flares that almost act as a scoop, those aren't helping you either. I know I'm sitting here hating on every cool Jeep mod there is, but hopefully this video will give you guys some insight. If you're building a Jeep, hey, maybe let's think about fuel economy for the future of the build. Another thing I'd like to say is that the Jeep comes from the factory with a slight rake. What that means is the nose is down a little bit. In the video, it's kind of hard to see, but I'd say mine has like a 1/4 inch rake. So a lot of people always say, lift kits don't hurt your miles per gallon or your fuel economy. They do in a way. The higher your body sits, the more unaerodynamic it is underneath. You create a little vortex going up underneath. And especially if your Jeep is sitting flat or a little bit nose heavy, it's gonna make your Jeep a lot less aerodynamic. So keep a slight factory rake. I know a lot of people want to level it out or make it so the hood sits a little bit higher. Definitely not a good idea when it comes to fuel economy. So there's a lot of other little things, but honestly, it's kind of getting nitpicky. The Jeep is not designed for great fuel economy, but if you plan out your build, avoid any crazy unaerodynamic things. You try to keep your wheel and tire setup weight a little bit lower. Go with a good gear ratio. Do a few engine mods, nothing crazy. I really don't recommend any crazy tuners because honestly, those price points, and I've never really met anybody that's like, oh, I love my tuner because I'm getting great gas mileage. The iDrive is a little bit different because it does a few things. It's not really a tuner, it's more of a throttle controller. But that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments. If you have any, fuel saving tips other than selling the Jeep, well, that would definitely be a good call. But hopefully you learned a little bit of something from this video. I'm kind of just in a weird zone because I don't have time for installs right now. I have a bunch of installs. Hopefully the next video will be an install video. Actually, it's gonna be. The next video is gonna be an install video. Don't know what yet. This week I definitely have some extra free time, so I'm gonna get around to doing an install video and hopefully keep it going. So thanks for watching, guys. Like always, give this a big old thumbs up if you will. Go down in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say about the video and if you have any other tips or tricks for new Jeep owners. This has been from JK Gear and Gadgets, and keep on Jeeping on.